And welcome to a very special episode of Poor Decisions. My name is Ronan Collins, Whiskey for Breakfast.
My name is Michael Cowman, or The Cowman Show.
Yeah, and we are in this stunning venue. Where are we, Mick?
Well, we're still in Belfast. You know, we've always been in Belfast. We're at Titanic Distillers at Thompson Dock.
Yeah, what a stunning venue. Like, hopefully you can all see it in the background and we'll explore it more later. But this is one of the most stunning distilleries I think I've ever been to.
It is in one of Belfast's 7 quarters. Here we are.
Which we learned the last time we were
here.
The
last time. So we're down the Titanic quarter, I think is fair to say.
That is, yeah. Why is it called that?
I have no idea.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I know someone who does,
yeah.
Thankfully. Luckily, we have a special guest today. We have the head distiller for the Titanic Distillery, Damien, and he's going to come and chat to us. I think we're just chatting now when he should just be here.
Yeah.
Come on in, Damien.
Bring in Damien. Someone who actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You can come back. We like this already. Welcome, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No,
thanks for coming down to see us here.
Thanks for having us, actually. You know, so it's almost like, where do we begin with such an unbelievable setting? There's so many things I want to talk about, even like the crane that's just above Mick's head that looks like it's been there for a long time. But
it'll probably stay there for the duration of the interview, I'd say.
I don't know, can we get it working? Can we do that? But yeah, so where do we start? So this is the new distillery, a brand new distillery. And we're about to get rocking and rolling. But before we kind of do talk about the distillation and stuff, the site itself, this is quite a famous landmark in history, not just Irish history.
Absolutely, yeah. We're in the Titanic quarter, as you said before, at Thompson Dock. So this is the pump house that would have serviced the dock just out there to our right. Famously, the Titanic was serviced here before she set sail. That was in 1911, and then this has been in operation since 1907, right the way up to the year 2000. So it's had a couple of different hats on. It's been a pump house for, servicing the dock, all that shipyard work. There was a cafe here, which did tours, historical tours, and now we have taken it on. We've given a new lease of life and built this fantastic state-of-the-art distillery here.
Yeah, and for anyone who hasn't seen this site yet, do come along. Tours are running, but the site is huge. Like, even below us, it's like a 40-foot drop, and then the dry docks go out there and stretch all the way down there. So it is actually a massive undertaking.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, there's a huge pump well below us. Like, majority of the distillery here is below sea level, and there's been a great undertaking at, like, everything you see in front of us and behind us is suspended above the historical pumps below us, and then we've also have our food and beverage options out the back there on, which could be Belfast's biggest beer garden maybe. And we've got the dry dock as well, which you can do tours on, and it's an incredible site, and you can't really sort of get the scale until you come down here and see it. And it's definitely well worth the visit. Yeah,
here, Mick, as dry docks go,
that's a pretty impressive dry dock. I mean, I've seen a few dry docks in my day, but that's a pretty good dry dock. And actually, one of the cool things about the distillery here is when you look out the windows here behind us, it's actually it's a working harbour. There's ships. There's the HMS Sweet Caroline there beside us. I think captained by Neil Diamond. So that's all around us. But no, it is one of the cooler sites that you can kind of look out the windows and you're just surrounded by history, really, aren't you?
Absolutely, history, but also, like, we're in the heart of Belfast. Like, you've got the docks right here, and then you've got Cave Hill beyond, and Belfast Castle in the hills. We're actually surrounded by a lot of, like, new Belfast, all this tech innovation centres, and so it's a lovely mix here of, like, the industry, the new Belfast, all the tech, and
film studio.
Yeah,
film studio. Yeah,
it's just like right there. Obviously famously, but like Game of Thrones. It's kind of so almost some of the most famous things Belfast is known for in one wee quarter.
Yeah, and if you look at that window, you can see the Harlan the Wolf cranes. The iconic visual aid that you're in Belfast.
Yeah,
it's just right out our windows there.
So tell us a little bit about, so if we look at it from a distilling perspective, how have you ended up here? How have you ended up as a head distiller? You did some brewing before as well, and then distilling, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
He checked you in on LinkedIn. Just
I sent him a CV. So I started as a civil engineer working on roads and rail, and after a period of traveling, just sort of follow my nose around the States, I sort of got a bit sort of itchy feet, wanted to move around, see what else I could do, and came into brewing and started from the ground up, sweeping the floors in a brewery, and worked my way up to be the head brewer. And then an opportunity came in to get into distilling, and I haven't looked back since. It's been fantastic.
I mean, I think we kind of mentioned it beforehand. We were having a little chat. It was like it's a pretty romantic industry, I think now. But how do you feel working in this, like surrounded by all the history?
It's a fantastic honor, I feel, on my shoulders. We are going to be the first legal distillery in Belfast in almost 90 years. So I feel like there's a great sort of like honor on my shoulders to be, and proud too, to be the first distiller here. And it's going to be incredible. And working among all the different people coming here, like they're happy to be here. When they're smiling, it makes you happy as well. So even though it's an industrial process that we're doing here, like there's a bit of Disney dust and a bit of a lewd.
And there will be eyes on you, I suppose, not to put more pressure on you, but there will be eyes on the first distillery in Belfast in 90 odd years. It's got the name behind it. There's a lot of, I suppose there's a lot of Belfast like heart and soul in this building, and people from Belfast tend to want to make sure that you know how to handle that in the right way, I suppose, and not take advantage of it. But it seems like even from the start, and how you're like doing the launches with people and like hiring people from the local area, and even offering them the biggest beer garden in Belfast. It seems like you're doing the right things.
Yeah, I think that's very core to the brand. Our brand is all about the people of Belfast, the hands that built the ship, the heritage of Belfast, and we feel like we want to continue that in our expressions with the whiskey. And I think in the future our releases from here will be proud to release this from Belfast, and we hope the people of Belfast will support us.
So, I mean, the whiskey, we've mentioned it there. Tell us a little bit about these stills behind us, because this is definitely one of the more impressive shots we're going to have gotten. And so the stills obviously aren't on just yet, but very shortly. But tell us a little bit about size of the stills and kind of the setup here behind us.
Yeah, so these are pot stills from Four Sides, world famous coppersmiths from Scotland. So behind me here is our wash still, 2,500 litre capacity. Then our faint still in the middle, 1,500 litres, and our spirit still at 1,000 litres. So they're small and compact, but we're going to work them hard. We're going to produce some really good single malts here, and we'll try and get a few pot stills out as well, because we'd really like to explore flavour and try and bring that sort of the background I have with brewing and making a bit of malt into distillation, and experiment a few different other flavours to make sure that these stills, we're constantly producing something new and something really flavourful.
Yeah, and it'll be exciting to get it, even the single malt and the pot still. And it does need to just be said that even though we're in Belfast, as counties go, we're in North Down, and being from Down myself, which you you corrected me on one day. I was like, County Down, and you're like, no, it's County Down. And being from County Down, I love the fact we have another distillery in County Down.
That's it. What was it, 5 or 6 now?
I reckon.
I think it could be 54. I think I thought it was like 8 or 9, but yeah, no, there's quite a lot.
I thought it was 8 or 9. The way I talk about it, it's probably more. But it's amazing to have like that, especially with pot still coming out of here and a quality single malt. Like it's brilliant, and you do it just. If anyone comes on a tour, they'll be able to see all production like in one place.
Yep. It's a very transparent site. A lot of places you might just see the tops of vessels or whatever, but we've got the gridded floors where you can see every nut and bolt and valve in this place. So if you do come down here,
see your phone go straight down.
That's it. If you see me down the ground, I'm probably looking for my pen. But yeah, so everything's here, and you'll be able to see the sights and the sounds of the brewing process, the fermentation, the distillation. So it'll be pretty full on now in a couple of weeks once we get finally up and running.
Yeah, and again, we can't really see it at the minute, but the way this shot will be looking at, we're all on one level. Everything here is being suspended like above. So if we go down, which hopefully we will, and we look up, we'll just see that everything's just it's like a house of cards. It's very
Absolutely.
well built,
Very
sturdy
well built.
house of cards, but it looks nuts when you're looking up. It's like a floating distillery.
It is, yeah. Like the steel beams that we have put in here, like are sized to hold 500 tons. Because if you think that you've got all these tanks when they're full, there's going to be quite a bit of weight. And then you've got the movement of people moving around. So the structural engineer definitely had a job in his hands putting the structure together.
Michael's shoulders alone.
Thanks, man.
No worries.
I mean, does that seem like a natural time? We've discussed the spirit. Should we have a little taste?
Yeah, let's have a taste. Yeah, absolutely.
So we have the 2 bottles in front of us, but we have the cork popping expert over here, Ronan. So do you want to?
Yeah,
pick it up?
absolutely. So we are starting with your vodka. So I'll get this one into one of these beautiful warm mics. You ready for this, Pop? Oh, that was a cluggy one, wasn't it? I wanted to pull the cork back in. Felt my fillings come out with that one.
You always hold them at an angle as well, and it makes me upset. Like, I mean, I'm ready for it to just fly out. Like,
No, I'm
Like
like,
pro.
there we go.
Nice glug on that too.
Yeah, it is a good glug. And I take it the design and the color of the bottle is inspired by the beautiful, like, steel work around us.
That's it. Like a lot of the colours here, you see the paintwork around here. This is all original, and some of that marries into the story we're telling here on the labels. There's a few little nuggets in here. So like the star at the top, White Star Line, TD, Titanic Distillers, or is it Thompson Dock? We've got 1911 on the side here when the ship was built, and then 401 is the hull number on the ship. These little diamond shapes here, you'll see them dotted around in the granite everywhere on the site. We're not sure why it's there, but it's a lovely feature that somebody put in. Oh, nice. So we've brought that onto the label as well.
That's class. And those, like you said, like Easter eggs and levels of complexity. They weren't just created; they're actually taken from history itself.
That's
which
right.
is brilliant. Yeah. So tell us about this.
I mean, tell us about the vodka itself. Yeah, from a taste perspective, or from a creation perspective, I guess.
So the vodka is it's pretty unique in that it's a sugar beet vodka.
Okay, cool.
So we're pretty certain this is the only vodka of its kind in Ireland. So like you can see, it's crystal clear. We're not really gonna get much more into it, but even the aroma, I think it's quite citrusy. Not to preload you with.
Well, you did, and I got it. The second you said it. So.
You're gonna taste the mangoes now.
But I think as vodkas go, it's a lovely sipping vodka, something I would never considered before. But this is it's beautiful neat, and it's really good in a lemon drop cocktail.
Okay.
That's an old school drink. It's
a good one though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely that citrus note.
Go on, break it down from a bartender's perspective. You having that in a nice big martini?
If you wanted a martini with a twist, I would probably go down that route.
Yeah.
With that one,
That kind of citrusy note would complement the.
Yeah. I think if you wanted a dirty martini, I probably wouldn't. But horses for courses. Definitely in those big fresh vodka cocktails, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Tom Collins would be good with that one.
Well, Uncle yours?
No, a vodka version, like a vodka highball. But yeah.
Very good.
But it's quite oily in your mouth, isn't it? There's quite a body to it, which I didn't expect. And I think it's actually delicious. We'd at Whiskey Live, we're trying to convince people, try the vodka, and they're like, no, I've had bad experiences. And they try this, and they're like, it's actually lovely and smooth and silky, and I think it's quite good on its own.
No, definitely. Yeah. I think it's a really nice kind of one to have in the core, because I think a lot of distilleries will tend to go directly for gin, but I think vodka is a nice little touch as well.
Also, Whiskey Live, people are like, I have a bad experience with vodka. It's like, you're currently having a bad experience with whiskey, lads. Like, I see what's happening here, so don't worry about
I've
it.
seen you drinking 15 whiskeys before you came over to us.
Yeah. Not there's tasty, and I actually love that colorway. I think it's class. Now it says limited edition. Is that just because you make it in the smaller batches?
It's a small batch, yeah. It's a very small batch, but just a lot of them.
Fair enough, yeah.
So the vodka will continue for us. That'll be pretty much a permanent feature for us. So we're very happy with that.
Go on, I'll let you pop this one.
I don't know if I can, myth.
I don't think you can, but sometimes with great power. Nice, you twist.
bad.
You did a twist.
Yeah, it's different to your one. Like, the techniques are different, I guess. I wouldn't be the expert that you are when it comes to popping bottles.
I agree. I'm glad that was caught on camera. I'll cut out what I need.
Thank you.
Would you like some as well? Rob?
Oh, just a
little.
wee drop, yeah.
How many glugs do you want?
I wonder were like workers on the Titanic given like rations, that we hear about, like
Grog rations.
grog rations and all that jazz. I wonder, was there?
I think there was maybe a bit of, we allude to it on the back here that, at the end of your day, this is your reward. If a hard day's work, you get a nice measure of pride, and that's what we're alluding to on our brand as well. That, the shipyard workers would have, worked hard during the day and then relaxed in the evening with a nice reward that you've done a great job on the ship, but not, you get to have a bit of whiskey as well.
Yeah. I'd say that was a tough job, that.
And I mean, the logo or the...
Our tagline,
which
Blood,
kind
sweat,
of
and
represents
tears.
that, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the blood, the sweat, and then like traditionally in shipyards, it would have been generational. Your grandfather worked there, your father, and then you worked there as well. And similar to distilling, there's a lot of effort goes into creating distillate, and then the years in maturation before it becomes whiskey.
Yeah.
So it's a nice crossover.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of flavor profile are we going for with this? Or I guess is this going to be, because this is currently a sourced liquid? Yeah.
Yes, it's sourced, and we'll continue to source it
Yeah.
until such times our liquid is here, and
Yeah.
we might even continue in the future. So the liquid that we'll be producing here, we're hoping that'll be like distillery exclusives. If you want to get it, you have to come here to get a bottle. But sure, with these couple of years to figure these things out.
Yeah, for sure.
The sort of the style of the whiskey, there's a slight peated element in this. There's also sherry in it as well to try and help round the whole thing off, so you get a nice smokiness but also sweetness as well. And there's virgin oak casks as well, because you can see the color, like it's a lovely color for its age. And I think it's a great drop.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd love to hear what your opinions are.
I do always really like when there is a little bit of smoke to have that little bit of sherry balance, because I think it works really well for particularly younger whiskies. I think it just works really well in terms of balance. Like, you know what I mean?
I get like blood orange off the nose. Like obviously there's that wee bit of peat, but it's like deep dark citrus, but there's also that like, je ne sais quoi off the nose as well.
It's a lovely little drop.
I never would have picked that up, but I do get it now once you said it.
Oh, well, stick with me, kid.
No, but I think that is a lovely drop. 40% ABV?
40% ABV.
Yeah. No, it is. And it's super approachable as well. And this is meant to be an approachable blend. Like, it's not meant to be a hard to palate whiskey. It's,
it's meant to be a catch-all.
Yeah.
Try and, like, some people say, I don't like whiskey or I don't like peated. And then they try this and they're like, oh, actually, that was quite good. So it's a lovely blend of, 5 different styles of whiskey. You've got grain whiskey, you've got your single malt, triple distilled and double distilled, peated as well, and the sherry finish.
Beautiful.
So it's a lovely.
You literally put it, like you got them all in.
That's good, yeah.
Which is great, especially for like a brand that's going to be so big and so focal for so many people to even be able to talk about double and triple distilled Irish whiskey, because we do double distill here.
Absolutely, yeah. Like not all Scotch whiskey is double distilled or peated, and not all Irish whiskey is triple distilled and unpeated. So it's great that we can talk about these things and educate.
Yeah,
I suppose like the likes of the bigger companies, they've done a lot of work educating, and then we just need to continue on with that. That there is other styles out there that not to be afraid of them.
Yeah. Rising tide lifts all ships and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, you love it. You must feel right at home here. Like
just surrounded by maritime things, it's great.
What's on the Belfast flag?
It's a seahorse.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
It makes more sense when we're here, doesn't it?
Yeah, when you sit down here and you kind of look around and you see all that history there, definitely. And all the current stuff, like you said, all the current stuff. There's cruise ships going in and out all the time. There's a lot of stuff happening in and around. This is the Lagan, I assume, is it? Yeah. Okay. I had to double check that. How do you not know this?
I wasn't there's so much water around me right now. I wasn't sure. Maybe the Lagan's over there or whatever. The River Forsta is over there as well.
Okay.
Just in
Top
case you
tips.
wanted to know.
Top tips. No, listen, that's a lovely whiskey.
Obviously, we have the immense pleasure to come in here. You shut your stills, everything just stopped because poor decisions were in town,
That's it, yeah.
as it should be.
We even blocked the traffic at the restaurant.
But so you normally have tours going on, and like, what does a tour like? I take it you highlight all the amazing bits. Like, do you talk? I'm gonna go to. Do you talk about the crane?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's an integral part of this tour.
You love that crane.
I love that crane. Yeah. All these stills got brought in via that crane.
And all the steelwork, yeah, everything.
That's pretty impressive. Considering it's about 100-year-old crane. Yeah. I quite like the crane now as well. Okay, fair enough.
If you want to go up and have a go on it, you can go up that ladder.
Are you joking?
No, it's hand operated. So you need 2 men one to go up, back and forth and up and down.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then they met their end.
Do not operate heavy machinery.
Yeah. So the tours. So I take it you try your portfolio, like.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different tours. We've got the Thompson Dock, so you can come down, just do a tour of the dock with one of our guided tours. Tour guides take you right down to the bottom level of it. And there's the premium tour, which is the dry dock and the distillery, or you can do just the distillery. Mm-hmm. And in the distillery, there's obviously all this history behind us and all the fancy 1950s technology behind there as well, and modern day stuff. So there's that tour, and then there's the legacy tour, which is dry dock, distillery, and then right down to the pump level. So we cater for everybody here.
Yeah, no, we can see that. It's definitely a worthwhile tour coming in and around. Yeah. And it encompasses all elements of the old, the new, and the future, I guess, as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, as I said, you can see the old technology from the 1900s, the middle of the century technology that came in the 50s, and now we're into the 21st century where we've got, I can control all this computer or control all this equipment on my phone. Yeah. So it's a really good fit of old versus new in here.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's all been retrofitted like really tastefully into it as well.
It's been very sympathetic. Yeah. Like before, there would have been nothing really above windowsill level in here. So you can see just in front of us, it's pretty much below windowsill level, except for these guys behind us here.
Yeah. I mean, it is funny when you say stuff like that and you look at it and go, oh yeah, no, yeah, fair enough, I get it.
So it's an architectural like feature or detail that was put in that I think is fantastic because it just is very sympathetic to the building.
I don't think I've ever observed a room. I mean, like, is that below windowsill level before? But I'm glad I know I have that in my arsenal.
There you go.
You know. Well, here, Damien, thanks so much for sitting down with us. I think we're going to go for a wee dander and look at the rest of the site with you.
Absolutely.
But we really appreciate taking us through the whiskies and tell us about the distillery and all.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Legend. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. You are welcome, by the way.